What's going on with Boris Johnson, the general election, and Brexit? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Thor Sandalwood, and today we're going to be looking at astrology to help us answer those questions. Now, as an American, I'm not too well versed on European politics, let alone British politics. But I've been doing a lot of research, and this has become a very big worldwide phenomenon, as this whole Brexit situation. And there seems to be some sort of problem that they can't get the Brexit done. And Boris Johnson said he was going to get the Brexit done by October 31st. Then that got canceled because he couldn't get enough agreement in the parliament, from what I understand. So now the Brexit deal is going to be pushed back till January of 2020, which I'll go into that because that's very interesting that they're waiting till January of 2020 for this Brexit deal or vote on Brexit. But the general election on December 12th, I guess Boris Johnson's trying to get more support in the parliament so he can push this thing through. So, thing about Boris Johnson, it would seem odd that he even became prime minister on July 24th, a few months ago, because he's in the Mercury Mahadasha and the Ketu Bhukti. And Ketu is like the south node of the moon in Western astrology. Ketu is typically not a period of manifestation of material desires, social standing, or anything like that. It actually tends to be the anti-materialization period when someone is going through that period in their life. So I found it very odd when I was looking at his chart and I saw he actually became prime minister during Mercury Mahadasha Ketu Bhukti. But then I was sitting there analyzing, like, how did he become? That doesn't seem like a good transit. I mean, I could see him becoming prime minister during a Sun Bhukti. Sun's all about being visible, and his sun's in the 10th house, which is public visibility. I could see him becoming a prime minister during that time. But why is he Ketu period? It's confusing. Then I was looking at his chart and I remembered we have transiting Rahu right now is transiting Gemini. It started transiting Gemini in March of 2019 and will be transiting Gemini for 18 and a half months. And then when I was looking at Boris Johnson's chart, I realized Boris Johnson's having a Rahu return. His natal Rahu is in the 10th house in the sign of Gemini. And this only happens once every 18 and a half years that you have a Rahu return, where Rahu travels through all 12 signs and returns back to your natal Rahu position. And these Rahu periods, these Rahu returns are huge change periods in someone's life. So you guys can think about when you guys were about 18 years old, 18 to 19 years old, think about the changes that happened around the life. Usually there's some big fork in the road in your life along those time periods where you're presented with a choice, either to go this way or that way. And that usually influences the next 18 years of your life. Then you have the next Rahu return from 36 to 37. And that's usually a big change period in someone's life. So if any of you are old enough to remember what happened at 36, 37, you'll probably recognize that Rahu return period was a big change period for you. And then that repeats every 18 and a half years. Boris Johnson's going through his Rahu return, which means he's at this big fork in the road moment where there's changes he can make in his life that he would not be able to make in, say, 5 years ago or 5 years in the future. He's in basically this karmic manifestation period where things are going to be able to happen on a karmic level that there's like a window of opportunity for him. So when I saw that going on, he became prime minister July 24th, 2019. Rahu entered his 10th house, having his Rahu return in March, so prior to that July moment. And now it's going to be transiting for the next 18 and a half months. This makes a lot of sense. And Boris Johnson's got 3 planets in his 10th house. He's got the Sun in his 10th house, Venus is in his 10th house, and Rahu in his 10th house. Very powerful placement for someone like Boris Johnson, who's a politician. The sun gives him all that visibility. It even gives him that power and authority. And Rahu transiting that house is going to even exaggerate that power, that with the sun, it's that magnetism that you might have. And Venus is going to give you that ability to negotiate with others, because Venus is the karaka of diplomatic relationships, of building those key relationships. Also, what's interesting is we also have Saturn and Jupiter right now transiting the sign of Sagittarius, where his natal Ketu is, and transiting Ketu are all in that 4th house of Sagittarius in his chart. So this is just such a powerful, so many planets are involved in Boris Johnson's chart. Jupiter and Saturn can be a point of manifestation for him. And 4th house represents mother, but it also represents the homeland. So I believe because he's in his Rahu return, he's taking a risk. The Rahu return is a time you can take a risk. So I'm going to call a general election and I'm going to take a risk, a bold move kind of risk. I think he's going to do fine. He's going to win this general election, and he probably will win a majority in the parliament. It's so interesting to me that the Brexit vote is not going to happen until January of 2020. Because guess what happens on January 24th, 2020? Saturn's going to change signs. It's going to leave Sagittarius and it's going to go enter Capricorn. This is when I believe the Brexit, probably between about January of 2020 to April of 2020, the Brexit deal is going to go through. Because K2 represents things getting cut off. I think Saturn right now, Saturn being with K2 right now, Saturn's kind of holding everything together. Because Saturn is the planet of stability, of the government, of institutions. But I think once Saturn moves in the Capricorn, the next sign, and K2 and Jupiter are just there in Sagittarius, it's going to be a different ball game. Because K2 can just tend to cut things off. But Jupiter's going to be there to help give us the wisdom and the learning that we need from these lessons of having a Brexit. This is such an interesting time period. With Boris Johnson, he's also going to be entering a new bhukti on February 2nd, 2020. Isn't that interesting? So Saturn's going to be moving into Capricorn January 24th. And then on February 2nd, that's when Boris Johnson enters his Mercury Venus. His Venus is, like I said earlier, it's in the 10th house. The 10th house of that visibility. He's also still going to be in that Rahu return time period. Venus can be the karaka of actually popularity as well. He might be quite popular pulling off this Brexit deal. Even though there might be a lot of people angry about this thing, he might actually win it, have a popular majority supporting what he does with this Brexit deal. We also have, when he enters his Venus period, he's also going to be activating Mars in the 9th house of Taurus, Mercury in the 9th house of Taurus, and a moon in the 2nd house of Libra. So there's a lot of planetary energies going on. And Mars is the karaka of destroying things, okay? So that Mars is going to be activated in his 9th house of Taurus. Mars can destroy things. So if the EU puts up too much of a resistance, Mars can, take out that agreement. And there might be a clean break Brexit. If there's somehow some sort of infighting either with the European Union or the Parliament, that Mars being activated in Boris Johnson's chart can be where he just pushes it through and just breaks all the deals and pushes it through. So that's what I am seeing right now with his chart. This is such an interesting time period that we're in, because not only is Boris Johnson having his Rahu return, but as I said in previous videos, we're having a time where Rahu's transiting this specific nakshatra called Ardra, which it does every 18 years. And, Boris Johnson's Rahu is in that nakshatra of Ardra. The last time that Rahu transited Ardra was when September 11th, 2001 happened. And so then in 1963, JFK was assassinated during that time. So we're in this period of extreme volatility for the whole world. And so this Brexit thing is us entering this brave new world, so to speak. And it's going to be scary because nobody likes change. We all are creatures of habit. So in the US, we have the Trump impeachment going on. And then we have the Brexit stuff going on there in Great Britain. By April of 2020, we should all know, this will be, I believe, the time period where we're going to know where the direction the world's going after this time period, because that's when Rahu leaves Ardra in April of 2020. So that's it, guys. I believe Boris Johnson, he's going to take this general election. He's going to win this general election, be able to put together his parliament. And yeah, it's going to be stalled. The Brexit's not going to be, the issue's not going to be dealt with till January, probably February. After Saturn moves in the Capricorn here on January 24th, 2020, we'll see the break happen with Britain and the European Union. What do you guys think? Please comment down below. Let me know. Do you guys think I got it all wrong? Could something else happen? Or what do you think about the whole Brexit situation in general? Is it bad? Is it good? Comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel for more predictions and more analysis videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.